Summer what?
Summerween! The people of this town love Halloween so much they celebrate it twice a year.
This is finally the time of the year. I'm so excited, you can understand. If you don't know me, hi, welcome. I hope you like it around here. My name is Tina. I love to yap about books, and one of my favorite seasons is autumn, and more specifically, Halloween. So for the people who are not really familiar with this, what is Summerween? Summerween is, I think, partly originated but also brought back by Gravity Falls, where during summer the city loves Halloween so much that they also celebrate during summer, and it's on the 23rd of June, I think. But Goodreads also hosts this Summerween readathon where you just highlight horror and thriller books but also do very fun activities. So I need to calm down. I'm gonna talk you through the prompts of this year and what books I'm gonna be reading, what activities I want to do. Let's jump right into it. The first prompt is read a book in the dark. It's gonna be quite easy to do. I would love to. I need to buy some candles so I can read. The second one obviously is read a thriller / horror book. It's gonna be quite easy to check alongside another prompt. The third one is read a new to you author, and for this one I chose The Eyes Are the Best Part by Monica Kim, and look how beautiful this book is. Spread edges on paperback books, and they're floppy. That's my jam. Give me 100 like this, please. Next is read a book with pink on the cover, and for that I have Boy Parts by Eliza Clark. This is pink, okay? Even the sprayed edges are pink. I just realized I didn't even talk to you about what's this book about. I'm so excited. I'm too excited. I diverge. I digress. I go in every direction. I'm so sorry for that. I don't know much about this one, aside of the fact that it's horror, of course, but also it deals with, I think, Korean origins, about a main character who has a lot of problems in her family. They're dysfunctional, kind of, and she has very weird dreams about ISIS, of course. And this one is about, I think, a photographer who takes very weird photographs of boys, young boys, I don't know. This might go very far, we'll see. Then I have read a book under 250 pages, and for that I have Woman Eating. I don't have it physically, I'm just gonna read it on my Kobo. I'm super excited for this one. I just know it's woman eating probably other humans and cannibalism. I don't know. I might love it because I absolutely loved A Certain Hunger by Chelsea G. Summers, but we'll see if I love this one as much. And because I just need some, you know, breaks, short and sweet breaks, I'm gonna be reading Garlic and the Vampire that I've seen Katie is reading Read for, I think, the longest. I'm sure I've seen other people reading this, but I just associate this book to Katie's reading. It looks super cute to read, so I can't wait. And I just bought, I need to unwrap it, Junjito's Cat's Diaries. It's finally here in France. This was perfect timing. Perfect timing. Let me unwrap this with you. I'm always super anxious to just damage it, you know. Slowly but steady. So satisfying. Let's see. You're gonna see with me. I don't see anything, but you can see. Oh, cute. Okay, cats. And let's see some of the drawings. Okay. I can't. I'm already sold. I can't wait to read this. I can't wait. I love it. I just love Junjito's drawing. He's quite a pioneer in the horror genre in mangas. He's not the only one now, but he always has very, very creepy drawings with a lot of very scary faces. I really love Fragments of Horror. I quite enjoyed Tommy, but it was not my favorite. So let's see if I'm gonna love this one, because it's talking about cats. So I already wanted to dive into this ambience, so last night at my parents' I watched Jaws, which was really fun to watch. It aged quite well, I thought, and I baked some treats too. This might count for the activities because using the oven in my boyfriend's place is just the definition of hell, you know. He's living under the roofs, so no, I'm not gonna put on the oven. No, I don't think so. But yeah, I baked some cinnamon rolls and it was fantastic. And I always do every year a summerween Notion page. I wanted to show you mine today. So when you're on my Notion page, it's right over here. Look how cute this is. I just love. I've put this Hirono ghost because yeah, since I've been in Japan, I'm obsessed with Hirono, and I got this ghost one. And so here are the prompts. Here are my potential readings. I have more in case I manage to do these ones, and I forgot to tell you that it's gonna happen within a week. But because I'm gonna be working as well next week, I want to make the most of it, and I want it to maybe last 2 weeks. I don't know. The world is your oyster, you know. For the activities, I have carve watermelon or melon, watch horror movies, of course, watch some Gravity Falls episodes because I haven't finished it yet, bake some treats, go for a swim because yeah, it's summer obviously and it's gonna be super hot. I just got out of a heat wave recently and I expect more coming. So when I'm speaking of heat wave, it's around 40 degrees in France, which is wild. Maybe 25 years, 30 years ago, heat wave for French meant 30 degrees, not 40, 30. And now we are hitting the 40 degrees. So if you're a climate change skeptic, I don't know how you're doing in your life. So that's it. Not gonna bother you too much with this intro. I hope you are as excited as I am. I can't. So let's start this for sure 1 week vlog, maybe more. Who knows? Let's go. Oh. Hey, what's up? I'm back from the municipal pool, and as you've seen, I've made quite a few progress in boy parts and I have a few updates. I've reached page 122. No, sorry, 119. Eddie from Tesco. What am I reading? I went truly into this book blind without knowing really what it was about. I knew a photographer was involved, I knew some very weird things might be going, but I wasn't expecting this kind of. There are a lot of triggering things, heavy triggering things. You just follow our photograph, Irena. I don't know what's the best way to pronounce her name. Also, let me show you. I fed my little monster, but she doesn't like to be carried, so she's gonna run away. Irina is very, I wouldn't say deranged, I wouldn't say unhinged, but she definitely has some psychological issues going on.
Honey, you've got a big storm coming.
She doesn't really know how to get attached to people. I would say she's very selfish, we can say that. And she has also a very interesting way, a very interesting artistic way of wanting to do her photographs and seeing art, I think. And it's one of the first time I'm reading a book from the point of view, I think, from a proper artist. So that's definitely interesting, but it's also quite a wreck. It's more psychological horror, I would say. And even that, it's just you follow this adult navigating through life. Young adult, I would say, not young adults. I don't know, she's 27. What do you consider young adults? That's a very good question. And she's definitely done some things to herself that are triggering and blah, 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 blah. But apart from that, oh, excuse me, excuse you? Excuse you? Okay, let me just move because, oh, you're too kind, thank you. But I feel like I'm going in every direction trying to convey to you what this book is about, but it's nothing like I would think it was. It is, it should be, it would be, it might be. I don't know where we're going with this. I don't know what the author wants to transmit with this book, but I have no idea how it's gonna go. I have no idea how it's gonna end. I'm just gonna say that I love the fact that one of her best friend, I guess, even though she describes her as more like a parasite in her life, even though you definitely feel like she depends on her as well, but her best friend is writing on her blog and she is always talking about Irina. Her best friend's name's Flo, and she's always like trying to figure her out on her blog, which is supposed to be private, but everyone knows what it is, so it's not really private, and it's hilarious. I just love these snippets too. Let's see how it's gonna go. I think the plan for tonight is just to make myself right now a cucumber with feta cheese salad, because it's almost 8 p.m. and I put absolutely everywhere feta cheese in the summer, so I'm gonna do that. And I might try to continue Fear Street that I started and crochet in front of it. It's a slasher camp kind of movie happening in the summer in the 70s. It's okay, it's good, it's enjoyable, but it's not really horrific. It's not really terrifying me, you know, so I can watch it alone. I was supposed to go to the movies tonight with my boyfriend to watch Obsession. Have you watched it? What do you think of it? What a bummer, he got called in for work because one of her employees is sick, so he has to replace her. But yeah, well, we might try to go on Sunday. I don't know, we'll see. That's the plan. I really want to try to finish this tonight while reading in the dark. I might light a candle though, because I'm a scaredy cat. What's the expression again? I don't remember. I'm so sorry. That's the frustrating part about not being native English. Scaredy cat. See ya. Good morning. Coffee. Just wanted to check in very quickly because I have some small reading updates. I'm in my pajamas. I haven't even washed my face, but we're cool. It's cool, right? We're in a safe place here. Let's be casual. Started Garlic and the Vampire, and it's quite funny. I love it. I love the drawings, I love the colors, and it reads so quickly. I'm almost at the end of it, and I just started like maybe 15 minutes ago. I want to have some left so I can read a bit more after, so I think I'm just gonna keep reading Boy Parts by Eliza Clark. Things escalated. We are in the most gory, cringy, really gory, I already said gory, but really gory parts of this book. I should have known while reading the title that it was some inkling, but because I've reached I think 60% of the book and nothing really scary really happened, and now I'm almost at the end. I have even less than 100 pages left. I have like 70 pages left, and definitely some very horrifying things happened. Our main character is deranged. Truly deranged. She's not the type of character you can identify to, at least I hope so. Otherwise, do you need help? I don't know yet how to feel about it. I'll just yeah, I'll just ponder about it a little bit more after finishing this book, but I can't wait to see how it's finishing. So I might try to finish this morning before going out to make some groceries for lunch. I don't know yet what I'm gonna be eating. And then this afternoon I need to finish to edit the video of the last 2 weeks. Then I might just begin another book. I don't know what the activities of today are gonna be, but we shall see. We shall see what the day has to offer to us. Let's go. You're so cute. She just loves sleeping over here. I don't know why. I don't know how this could be comfortable. I don't understand. Please enlighten me. I finished Boy Parts. I would say that for now it's around a 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. The story doesn't really pick up until 70%. I would say it builds up, and then we have sort of a revelation by the main character, and then it gets only darker and darker, and it keeps getting very hard to read. I was so uncomfortable because it has a very graphic descriptions of things. My favorite part is the feminist subtone of this book, trying to see how far a deranged woman can go to try to get some reactions, you know, because she's going in some very dark places and she just wants some reaction. She just wants somebody to tell her to fuck off and not crawl to her because she's very beautiful. Everyone tells her that she should be a model and everything, and she's fed up with that. And yeah, it's just a woman spiraling down her psychosis, and sometimes you don't really know if she's a relatable narrator to you. You don't know if what she's experiencing is real or if it's in her head. Very interesting, but I would say that because of the pacing, it was a bit hard to fully engage at the beginning of the book. It could have been a little bit shorter, but yeah, I don't know. For now it could be at 4 stars, but then I'll have a little bit time to sit on it and maybe come back to my rating, if it makes sense. I wanted to start right away. The ices are the best part, but I just needed a minute to recover from this book. I just wandered in the bookstore and I talked about it to my bookseller, and yeah, I needed to yap about it a little bit, and yeah, I tried to get into the ices are the best part, but I think it's too much right now for me. I just need to make a little break from horror books. I'm just gonna finish to upload my video on YouTube for this week and maybe prepare a little bit my posts for Instagram for Sunday, and also maybe do some administrative stuff. I'll see, but I'm gonna pick up the book again before going for a drink with some of my colleagues from the bookstore. I'm gonna be working in July, so that's the plan of the rest of the day. Let's go. It's that moment. Everyone was dead. Father and everyone. Hi, what's up? I have some updates for you and I wanted to do some updates before going to the movie, so it has to be quick. And I wanted to do my update with Kurama as well, but she might go away. I finished Cat Diaries by Junji Ito. Super fun. Not as horrific, but still the drawings are in the same theme. So it's quite horrific as well, but it's more funny and it's also kind of an autobiographic work, so I would definitely recommend this one if you love cats. It's really relatable if you have any or if you have had any as well. And I finished The Eyes Are the Best Part as well by Monica Kim. Really enjoyed this one. I think I'm gonna give it a 4.5 stars. It takes time to build up in regards to the story. At first, not that much is happening. You keep learning about this family, this dysfunctioning family with a father that left his family and his two daughters. I don't want to say too much. I think it's best not knowing too much going into this book, apart from the fact that it's really slow building. It's not like gory. It's a bit gory, but it's not a horror with a lot of actions and a lot of horrific part. It's just a lot of psychological horror as well. And it's kind of a girl power too, as well as for boy parts, which is, I love that it's the same theme, you know. Thing to know too is that the main character, not really likable. No, she doesn't make the best choices in her life. I wouldn't be friends with her, so that's that. Did I tell you also that it's another heat wave coming during 2 weeks again? I also started Woman Eating. I'm really into the writing for now. I have the descriptions and I underlined some quotes already. We are following our main character who is a vampire, but she's kind of half a vampire. She was human when she was born from her mother who was a vampire, which is quite complex, I think. She's asking herself a lot of questions about what would it have been if she was human, what's her demon part, what's her human part, and not that much is happening. I've reached the 100-page mark, but yeah, it's building up. It's building up. I don't know where it's going yet, but I love the writing, so that's okay. And it was my first day going back to, I was gonna say going back to school, but no, going back to work. That was super fun. I worked only for 4 hours, so it was a cool, chill way of returning to work, you know, so I'm really glad about that. I was so excited. But tomorrow I'm doing a full day of work. Let's see how it's gonna go from now on, but I'm really happy about the fact that I almost finished 3 books. I would love to try to read a 4th one for this vlog, even a 5th one, we'll see. But we are going to the movies to watch Obsession. As I've told you, it's happening tonight, and then we are going to eat some pizzas, I think. I didn't want it to go by myself, you know. I don't really like going to the movies alone to watch horror movies, so I'm glad this is happening, and I'm gonna make you some updates about the film as well. And we watched Nosferatu yesterday night, from which I loved the acting, but it was too long. So I need to go. I need to go. What am I doing? See you later. Hi, bonjour. It's been a few days. It's been, I think, 3 days since I've talked to you, since I've made some updates. I'm out of the shower. I'm in my pajamas. You know. By the way, I washed my hair. They're already dry because it's too hot. But I was caught up with work. Going back to work again, which used a lot of my brain, energy. So I'm very tired when I come home from work. And also there was my boyfriend at his place, so I couldn't really do any updates calmly, without any sound aside of me. So I'm using this time when he's working to do so. Reading wise, I finished Woman Eating. I think I would give this maybe a solid 4. It's good that it's not too long because the pacing drags a little bit. I mean, nothing really happens until the end, but at the same time it tackles a lot of interesting points, and it has a really fresh take for a vampire book because it's about a girl who was not always a vampire. She was born a human from a vampire mother. Don't ask me how it happened, she doesn't really explain it. And because she had a disease being born, she couldn't feed herself, so her mother turned her to become a vampire. So her father is a human, and she's always wondering about what is the human part of her, if she still has one. She would love to be able to eat as human because it's a very social act, and she would love to be able to do that. So it tackles a lot of interesting themes. I'll try to make a more concise, explain details, analyze everything you want review for the end of the video. Yes, it didn't really owed me, but it has some interesting points, so for that I think I'm gonna give it a solid 4. Also reading wise, I started Wolfworm by taking Fisher. I'm super happy about that because I'm filming this video I think during a week and a half, so I can also have time to edit it. I've just read 20 pages, but so far I'm loving it. It's about a person who's going to work in a very gothic, weird manor in the middle of the forest in a southern town of United States, I think, and she's gonna draw insects for a naturalist, and it seems to be a really weird place to be living. And that's that punks. Work wise is going on super well. I'm super happy about that. I was working at the manga specialized bookstore this week, but then for the next 3 weeks I'm gonna be working at the graphic novel specialized bookstore, and it has also some fantasy books related, like also science fiction books, because it has the Dungeon Chronicle series, and I can't wait to yap about it to some clients. So I'm really excited to see something else. Personal life balance wise, it's been hard to try to keep on reading, to try to keep on doing some of my hobbies like crocheting, watching TV shows, even keeping up on YouTube videos too with small creators and bigger ones. It's hard to balance. That's why I had to tell you that I'm not gonna upload every week because it's just too much. It's too much, man. I've made myself already my lunch for tomorrow. I think I'm just gonna eat some leftovers tonight. I don't know, I don't have any energy left. I have to tell you, tomorrow I'm working also the full day. It's gonna be a Saturday, and I thought that the heat would restrain people from going outside. It was not the case. We had so many people because we have so many news and big ones, like really big ones. So it's not the end of it. I can't wait to be on the graphic novel side because it's a little bit calmer there. So I'm not gonna ramble too much more. I'm gonna eat, I'm gonna die in front of the Handmaid's Tale, I think, and then read some mangas and some more of Wolfworm. Maybe try to be a little bit active on Instagram. It's been a few days. I find it very hard to take some energy to try to be active there, and also to give some strength to other small creators over there. I want to do some posts, but I don't know, I think maybe I'll have time. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna do that. Bye. Hey, bonjour! It's time for a final update, and you may have noticed, but here's the final results of my sunflower granny square bandana. I'm really happy with it. It's just I've made some mistakes, some quite unnoticeable mistakes, but I know that I made them, but it's okay. It's just, you know, the process of learning, but I'm really happy with it. So that's that. I'm not gonna bother you too much with it. I've got my cranberry juice in my perfect Halloween mug. I've got my treats so I can do the final updates and share with you the ratings of the books I've read. They're all sticking together because of the heat wave, because it was too hot outside. I tried to put them on the fridge, but still, it's just a cluster of marshmallow and chocolate. Success. That's what I'm talking about. I didn't do much the last few days because it's just freaking hot outside. We even put the AC on because otherwise for the cat it was just unbearable, I think, for her and for us as well. So yeah, we're awake. We've put the AC. But let's start with the final ratings. First, boy parts, a 4.5 stars. It takes a long time for things to happen, but once it happens quite brutally, and it was very uncomfortable to read at some point. It starts to describe very disturbing things, and at the end I was just like, that's maybe too much. We have a very unhinged, very deranged main character. She's insufferable. She makes very selfish decisions, but somehow, sort of, it makes sense because she's really succeeding at going feral over people in order to provoke a reaction from them. She really tries to prove a point by that because she's very insufferable to people, and because she's pretty, because she's a beautiful woman, they never take her seriously. They're always laughing it off. They're always making excuses for her. They're not really listening to what she's saying, even though she's saying horrible things. She also has a very toxic relationship with her best friend, with a guy she met at a supermarket she wants to photograph. He's ready to do everything for her obsessively, and he lets her do everything she wants, and it goes so far, it's terrifying. But I think this one will stick with me for a long time. It dives into obsessive toxic relationships, gender role, and self-destructive behaviors. Incredible. The eyes are the best part. Same, I would give this one a 4.5 stars. I've already talked to you a little bit about what this book is about. I love how it has also some similarities with Boy Parts because the story builds up. It's less horrific than the other one. It has less graphic descriptions, I would say. It does not go as far, but it's a revenge plot building by our main character because, as I've said, she's navigating through family trauma. She's also navigating through social anxiety. She doesn't really know how to behave, and at one point she even meets this boy and he's obsessed with her, and through the story she makes commentaries about misogyny, about cultural fetishism as well, exoticism, especially towards Asian women. So it tackles very heavy topics in a very interesting way, but I thought that the pacing was dragging on a little bit. With the dreams especially, they're very recurrent, not that much happens in them, they're kind of all the same. So I think that at one point we get it, but otherwise she ate. And as I've seen on one of the reviews on, I think it was Goodreads, good for her. That's the only thing I'm gonna say. Garlic and the Vampire, I would say a 4 stars, even though it's kind of difficult to rate it. The story and the characters are very kind, except one, for sure. Garlic is a very anxious build and she has to fight a vampire, but there is a certain plot twist, quite predictable but very cute. And I loved the end. I really want to read Garlic and the Witch, even though I'm not sure I'm gonna love it as much as this one, but it's quite a cute read to read between very horrific books. It was perfect. Then I finished Cat's Diaries by Junji Ito. This is, as I've said, an autobiographical story. I did not really tell you about Junji Ito, who is moving with her fiancé. They already have a cat, but they are also sheltering a new cat who is the cat of her parents. He's quite weird, this cat, and Junji has a really hard time to adapt. Loved the drawings, very short, but also I loved like the exclusive content of this one because we have, as I've showed you, the pictures of that cat, and I thought that this was super cute, so I really enjoyed this one. I would give it a 4.5 stars. I also finished Woman Eating by Claire Coda, and this one I would give it a 4 out of 5 stars. It's not what I expected. I expected this book to be about cannibalism. It is not. It is about vampire. I was truly mistaken, but still I was pleasantly surprised. And this is about Lydia, our main character. She's a painter, and she got this new internship and she's living in London. She tries to emancipate from her mother. She is also a vampire, and she has always told Lydia that they are demons, that the only thing they deserve is like pig blood. They deserve nothing else because pigs are pretty dirty, but I love her commentaries about that because she's saying that pigs are not dirty at all. They are dirty because of humans. And also I love her takes about, I think, vegetarianism, I would say, because she's telling about how she feels, what the meat felt, like the animal felt before dying and in his life, and how he suffered dying and everything. So it's kind of a take for vegetarianism for me. Do I pronounce it well? I'm not sure. I love also the similarities with Boy Parts because it deals with art also, but unfortunately the pacing dragged on until the end. Nothing happened. It's really character focused. She's navigating through life, behaving like them because she just wants to be part of them and try to be part of them because her dad was a human, so she wants to get closer to her human part. At least that's what I understood of it, but it could be anything else. And yeah, I thought that this was the interesting part. Her fighting and being like biracial, trying to understand what she's more of, demon or human. There are not that much descriptions of food because she's only watching videos about like people doing what I eat in a day on YouTube, but she can't really eat, so it's kind of, it's not going as far as I would have liked. And it's about toxic relationships as well. It took way too long to get where it gets, but at least the end is very satisfying. If you want to read a vampire having an existential crisis, having a focus on her character, not really on like action-packed horror, and if you want to read about mother-daughter toxic relationship, then this might be for you. I gave it at least a 4 stars. I hesitating between 3.75 and 4, but for now I'm giving you 4 stars. And last but not least, I finished Wolfworm by T. Kim Kisher. Still love her writing. This was a little bit less sarcastic, a little bit less in the dark humor tone than the other books I've read from her. But the writing and the researches for this book are unmatched. I've learned through this book that she was herself an illustrator. That's why she's always describing things in terms of color she could use to paint the scenes she's watching, so it gives even more vivid descriptions and easy ways of picturing what's happening. I thought that this was so well done. And this is indeed about a watercolor illustrator, a naturalist, who is going in North Carolina to Doctor's Alder's mansion, manor, in the year 1899, so it's a very gothic southern fiction work, horror work. It deals about insects, and I don't want to say too much about where it's going. It takes also some time to build. I've had only books like this, it's crazy. But when things starts to happen and the end resolves rather quickly, contradictory to the fact that it takes a long time to build, so I thought that it was a bit frustrating, but overall a really enjoyable read. The descriptions of the parasite, like the insects crawling under your skin, was so horrific. It also tackles a little bit feminism in the science field, how women were often the illustrator of like men's work, but the men were never citing the women in the work, so I loved that. I gave this book a solid 4 stars as well. And lastly, I promise I'm not gonna bother you too much, I've read some graphic novels I really wanted to talk to you about. First, I've read Voleuse by Lucy Barron, but it's already translated in English, which is Thieves. This is a very slice of life character focused about two girls falling in love. And I don't want to say too much still, but the drawings are not my favorite. They're really cool though. And the story, what I loved about it is that obviously it's a lesbian representation, but it's not the main subject of the story. The main subject of the story is another thing, and I thought that this was so well done. It was quite funny as well. It's a very light read. I don't know, I just loved it. But the real surprise, I'm not finished it yet, but because I'm not gonna have it for the next video I'm gonna make. If you can't read French, please, I cannot beg you enough. This is stunning. The drawings are stunning and the story is also very interesting. This is Terre ou Lune by Jade Ku. It's translated already in Spanish if you want. Tierra o Luna. But I hope it's gonna be translated in English, and it has two parts, so that's the first one. And it's very poetic. It's about kids who are passionate about birds watching, ornithology. It's so beautiful. Please. This might be one of my favorite graphic novels of this year for sure. It has Ghibli vibes, so. And that's it, punks. I'm not gonna take too much more of your time. This was super fun to do. I didn't do every activities I wanted to do, but that's still a great win for me. I spent more than a week being in the spooky vibes. I didn't really left it yet. I really hope you had fun watching this vlog. But as always, thanks, thank you for clicking, for watching to the end. I really hope you enjoyed this video and thus to see you on the next one. But most importantly, you know it, thank you for being nice. That's what I appreciate the most with this corner of internet. And with that, I have to say bye.